Hi, this is Marianne Candido, and welcome to Magical Living Coaching, EFT for Weight Loss, Day 11. Today we're going to focus on snack eating and snack type foods, the salty, the crunchy, high in fat, no nutritional value type of foods that we tend to snack on. If that's one of your red light foods, like it is mine, then today's session should be very helpful for you. So what we're going to do is, I love potato chips, pretzels, the sesame stick snacks. The saltier the better. Now they're even making Cajun and spicy and chili flavored and all kinds of wonderful flavors, and very salty and very low nutritional value and high in fat. So, but those are the kind of snack foods that I crave. And, you know, if I had my automatic pilot choice, I immediately go to that kind of snack food instead of something healthier, like fruit or vegetables, or even just taking a big glass of water, because sometimes that's all it takes is we feel a little hunger and a glass of water would do the trick. But we're not. We are on automatic pilot, and we don't listen to reason when we're on automatic pilot. So I want to get rid of those automatic triggers, the patterns that I've had all my life. So let's go ahead and tap on the snack eating. But before we do, I do want to share some of my wins. This morning I took another 3-mile walk along the beach. It was a beautiful day. I'm so excited. I love summer here on the Oregon coast, and it was just spectacular. And there's this one little place that always offers free coffee and tea in the morning. So we stop in. It's a little gift shop, and they always have these really incredible muffins or coffee cake or some sort of breakfast cake. So this morning was a blueberry muffin, and they looked really yummy with the sugar coating on the top. And so I opened the lid to look at them because I wanted to test the EFT and see how it's working for me. And wouldn't you know, they didn't even give me a trigger, even though they looked amazingly delicious. It was simply like something there that I'm looking at. Did it have the same kind of charge? I would say if there was a bowl of carrots there and these muffins, the muffins definitely had a little more appeal. Okay, I'm not saying that, but it had no charge. I was not tempted. Just maybe this tiny little bit of, they look good. I would like to have one, but that was as far as it went. It wasn't this yearning, this need, this automatic pilot, this I can't control myself, I want one of those. It was just simply, oh, they look good. I bet they taste good, but no, I don't need one, and I'm okay not having one. So that was a fabulous win. I love when I test myself and see, and there was no willpower whatsoever needed to pass up those muffins. None. Because my body wasn't telling me, oh, you have to have this, or you're on automatic pilot, just grab one. It wasn't doing that at all, because I've erased and reprogrammed myself that I don't need those triggers anymore. So let's hope we're going to do it now with the snack food, because that's a big one for me, and I know we're going to do it because it has worked in everything I have used EFT for. So let's get ready, and I am at a 10 for that snack food. I have a snack trail mix out there that has pretzels. I didn't buy it, of course. My partner bought it. So right now, so in that snack mix, there's nuts, pumpkin seeds, pretzels, those little rice cracker orange things. It's all very spicy. And what else is in there? Let's see, the pumpkin seeds, pretzels, and little sesame stick crackers. So those are yummy. I love those. That's a big one for me. So we're going to go ahead and tap on that. Right now, I'm at a 10. Let's go. Even though I can't resist those salty, crunchy snacks, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though it's really hard to control myself around those crunchy, salty snacks, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have a hard time passing up those salty, crunchy snacks, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Those salty, crunchy snacks drive me crazy. I love those salty, crunchy snacks. I crave those salty, crunchy snacks. Those salty, crunchy snacks are in my cupboard right now. They're driving me crazy. I have a real hard time passing up those salty, crunchy snacks. I crave salty, crunchy snacks. I really like the taste of salty, crunchy snacks. I have a hard time passing up salty, crunchy snacks. Okay, let's see. I was at a 10. I would say I dropped to an 8 right now. And I had a vision, you know how sometimes our memories come into play that want to tell us, hey, there's a core issue here. So one of the things that came to mind was when I was a small child, we never had potato chips in the house. That was something my mother never had in the house, probably because she was always watching her weight as well. And it was just not something we ever really had. I don't ever remember having a bag of chips in our closet. So what I would do is ride my bike down to the corner store with my friends, and that would be what I would buy. My friends would buy ice cream, and I'd be buying bags of potato chips and pretzels and things like that, because that is what I so wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that in there along with the craving, and we'll see how that works out and how it plays into being a core issue. Okay? Okay, and I'm going to say it a 10 here. Even though we were never allowed to have potato chips and salty, crunchy snacks in the house when I was growing up, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though we never had salty, crunchy snacks in the house when I was growing up, still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though we never had those crunchy, salty snacks in the house and I would crave them and go buy them at the store, I still deeply and completely accept myself. I feel deprived that I never had snacks in the house. I used to love going to friends' houses because they had potato chips in the house. I used to love babysitting just so I could raid the cabinet of all their potato chips and crunchy snacks. I became addicted to the crunchy snacks like potato chips. I became addicted to potato chips and crunchy snacks out of deprivation. I felt so deprived that I couldn't have those, that they weren't in the house for me. So because I was being deprived, I never learned how to control myself with salty, crunchy snacks. Unable to eat just one potato chip, so I can't control myself with salty, crunchy snacks because I felt so deprived, so I would eat a lot at a time when I got a hold of them. Okay, so that deprivation of not having them in the house led to me binging basically on the potato chips and crunchy snacks and craving them because I wasn't allowed to have them, even in moderation. So I never was able to control myself with them. Okay, so that deprivation, that feels at a 0, like I have no problem that they're not there. So the true thing test now is let's look at how I feel about the crunchy snacks. I was at an 8 before. So let's see where we're at with that. So I crave the salty, crunchy snacks. I think I'm going to need another round. It has come down. Let's see. It's about a 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of combine that. Even though I still crave the crunchy, salty snacks because I was deprived and never was able to control myself with them, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still crave a little bit the salty, crunchy snacks and feel deprived as a child for not being allowed to have them in the house, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though by being deprived as a child of those crunchy snacks, I was unable to control myself around these snacks, and now I've created this craving for them, I deeply and completely accept myself. This deprivation, this uncontrollable condition around snack foods, this addiction, this craving of salty, crunchy snacks. Still have this little bit of a craving for salty, crunchy snacks. And I still feel this little bit that I can't control myself when they're in the house. And all that deprivation was still there, that I wasn't allowed to have them in the house. So that a little bit upset that led me to not being able to control myself around those snacks. And now that is the snack food of choice that I crave, this crunchy, salty snacks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn that around. We're going to do some affirmations, which I believe is really important most of the time to do that, especially on something really strong like this for me. Okay? It's okay to release those feelings, those cravings for those crunchy, salty snacks. I can have them now whenever I want. I can control myself when eating crunchy, salty snacks. I don't have to crave them, and I can make better choices. It feels good to make better choices than high-fat, salty snacks. If ever I want them, they're there. I can always buy them. It feels good to be able to control myself around crunchy, salty snacks. It feels really good to make better choices, and I can release that craving for crunchy, salty snacks. It doesn't serve me anymore. Okay, so I'm going to reevaluate, and let's look at that. Okay, I'm at a 0. So I'm pretty excited about that, and because that was a big one for me. You know, a lot of people, the sweets is a primary craving for them. This wasn't always the case, although later in life the sweets have increased in my cravings, but not so much now, because through this week and a half of EFT, it's really cleared that. But it always was that crunchy, salty snack food was my red light food that I couldn't eat just one or just a little bit of. I'd want the whole bag or go back for bowl after bowl. Okay, so this is a great success today. I am so thrilled. I can't wait to test it out and go out in my kitchen and look at that bag of trail mix and see how it makes me feel. And I can tell you, I'm not tempted in the least. So, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? Let's talk about binge eating, okay? I don't experience binge eating as much as I used to when I was a kid, but we'll go ahead and tackle that one and see what kind of issues it brings up for you. If you're a binger, then write down some of the things that trigger you to binge eat if you're aware of them, and if not, perhaps we will uncover some while we tap tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me, and magical journeys.